YouTube, it is Multiplier here to talk to you about tubes. Not just any tubes, two tubes. Tube and tube. Microphone tubes, talk to you, tubes, talking to yous, tubes, talking about to the YouTubes about two microphone tubes. And why in the last video I was cutting up an XLR cable like a maniac. There was a reason for this. The reason starts now. Days and days ago I was recording some tutorials. I had my headphones on my head, so pretend these are on my head. They're on the floor, but we can pretend they were on my head. This was placed somewhere around there, all casual like. And then, basically, I've got this thing where some birds, don't know if you can hear that or not, sometimes some birds fly and then walk around on the roof bit, because this is a roof bit. So the birds fly, walk around on the roof, and sometimes if a big bird, like one of this ones, not one of the little ones, the bigger ones, if they walk around on the roof, makes a bit of a noise. So what I have to do, I have to go to the window and sort of go, ah, or sort of bash on the window, or open the window and close it, and then the bird flies away. The noise has stopped. The bird flies away. So I went to do this one time, a few days ago. I was walking through the gap. Normally there's a keyboard here, but I've moved it for the tripod. Normally there's a keyboard here, and then I have to kind of skim me through the gap, and then I'm going to stand here, go, ah, birds, go away. And then I knocked this off. So I've done it a million times walking through here, but for whatever reason, bashed into this. Kaboom! And then it landed very heavily on the cable. Because what happened is, there was a cable going from the microphone through the tubes and then on the floor into my cloud lifter. But this, quite heavy actually, knocked, and then the edge of it landed on the cable bit. Kaboom! Bash! Dead. And then the cable stopped really working. It was about 6 dB too quiet. And then every few seconds or so it would go, and then of course that's not good. So I needed to put a new cable in there. Basically, the cable broke. Oh no! And now here's the problem. The cable was built into my microphone stand. The microphone stand, which is a K&M microphone stand with a name. No idea. K&M microphone boom, a microphone boom arm thing. Really, really good. I love it. Ish. It's basically a cable that was built into the tubes. There was a cable built into the tubes that went sort of through this top tube, out the top tube, and then into the microphone, of course. Put your own microphone in. But the cable came with the microphone stand, all built into the tube. So it went through the tube, went into this one, out of the back, and then back in, down this one, and then out the bottom. I can then plug into the microphone signal chain. Fantastic. So what is the problem? Basically, if you break the cable by knocking a headphone stand onto it, it becomes a bit tricky. Because it's all built into the tube, no easy way to get it out. Here's the problem. The tube is sort of very narrow, very, very narrow indeed. So narrow tube. But cables have bits on the end. This is one of the bits. XLR cable, microphone cable, so it carries power. So this sort of, the cable goes through the tube, fine. I'd have to actually unscrew these bits and take the plastic off and sort of jam this through, but you could get a normal, just the cable through. Bit fiddly, but you could. But the end bits, too big, doesn't fit. My temporary solution, which appears to be working fine for the time being, is to simply grab a different cable, this, in fact, better quality cable, better shielding, and just a more sturdy cable. I just got that, plugged it in, routed it through here, and then, quite long actually, then routed it into the cloud lifter, and all was fine. I haven't really decided if it's a good solution. I mean, it doesn't work as well at all angles because of the cable sort of pulling it sometimes, but it's not too bad. It certainly works for the time being. The ideal solution would be to route a different cable through the two tubes. Tube 1, tube 2, two tubes, route the cable through. But this bit, remember? Therefore, what I would need to do is buy an XLR cable without the cable, which you can do. Basically, you can get the XLR bits, the female bit and the male bit. You can buy the end bits separately to the wires and therefore you sort of buy the wire, feed the wire through, so you unscrew it, take the plastic off, feed the wire through, feed the wire through, feed the wire through, and then you sort of reattach it. But that's difficult, and I haven't done it before. I don't really trust my skills at doing so. Maybe I could learn. But yes, that was basically why I had to cut the cable out, because the problem was it's all dangling everywhere. So I could have, dangly everywhere, can't be having that. So I just simply cut it off and with scissors, and it kind of is fine. Not the most elegant solution. The most elegant solution would be to re-thread a new cable, but difficult. I mean, I could do it, but really, are my skills good enough to re-thread an XLR cable or sort of reattach it? Either take apart one that can be taken apart or buy the bit separately, and then it's just not really as sturdy as buying a nice one. Therefore, short-term strategy is going to be have a go with this current setup with just the normal cable threaded through there. See if that works fine. If it causes any problems, I can, of course, investigate the tube way. But for the time being, I think it doesn't look too bad at all. In fact, I think it looks fine, absolutely fine. But I will still investigate what's involved in taking the end bit of the cable off from the cable bit of the cable and reattaching it using knowledge, skills, magic, and fun. And there you go. That is why I was cutting the XLR cable like a maniac. Birds outside the window, tried to scare them away, knocked this over by accident. Oh no! Cable broke. Had to get the cable out because it was stuck in the tube. Two tubes. It was stuck in two tubes, both the tubes. And so yeah, just had to plug in a new cable. So yeah, all part of the journey of life, journey of the studio, multiplier, journey of the world, stories, plugging things in. I will catch you guys on the super speed.